Can you hear me clearly? Boleh dengar tak?
Boleh.
Boleh. Alright, Assalamualaikum. Very good morning to all. So sorry that bit late. Okay, so I think you have gone to the ULearn and click on attendance. So make sure that you go to ULearn, your attendance. And for today is that I'm going to do, there are a few things that I'm going to discuss today. First of all, before we go for the revision, for the revision also is like open question lah from student. We're not going to go one by one for each topic since you can actually access all topics in ULearn. But I'm going to just comment on a few assignments, what I've gone through student assignments, so what a student should not do in final exam. Okay, because from the assignment, I can see that some students are drawing block diagram without any square line, box tu tak ada square. So make sure that you do not repeat. I think I have informed in week, I think somewhere in week 3, I have the synchronous class. Week 3 or 4, I actually discussed about the assignment that students submitted. So at that time, okay, I commented about student assignment where student okay, anyway, I will comment that later. But for today, this morning is that first one is I'm going to brief about final exam, and mostly about the portal final exam. So I have shared to you in Telegram regarding you need to. I think there's a mock exam. There's a mock exam for student. Oh yeah, mock test for student. So later, I will share that to you guys. Okay, later on I will actually brief a bit about the mock exam. Okay, and then second one is about your assignment, not the individual assignment, but just in general the assignment that students submitted. So I'm going to comment on that because in your final exam, okay, whatever that you have submitted during the task the weekly task that I give to you, actually it will help you later on during your final exam. So therefore, please remember to actually everything that you have submitted to me online. Please make sure that you have your own folder. Means that folder according to the subject name. It means that under computer, do one folder, BEKM2342. Then everything, each of the tasks that is given, you can actually put it in that folder. So for example, according to topic lah. So you have topic electrical actuator. So put tasks under that notes and everything under that folder. Okay, reason why ULearn will be closed during the final exam week. Okay, so there were announcement. I also have informed in Telegram. And it says that the PSTP, the one that is handling the Pusat Sumber Teknologi Pengajaran ULearn, they are handling the ULearn. So they informed that the ULearn platform will be closed after 27 January. So meaning that after 27 January, student cannot have, because 28, you already start your exam, final exam, so 27 and above, the student portal will be closed, so you cannot access that anymore. So make sure, okay, whatever, I mean, my notes, make sure that you have downloaded. I think should, as a student, a good student would actually download all the notes, okay, and then they already done their own notes at the side there, print it out, or just scribble on that notes in terms of soft copy, and you have your own folder in your computer, so do not rely on ULearn during final exam, and make sure that everything is offline lah, basically, because it's open book, so open book means that you can actually refer to lots of student notes and so on. But if you didn't actually download my notes from ULearn, then that will be at disadvantages, and for the YouTube link and so on, okay, for my class, you can just directly go to my YouTube, my Razali, then just everything is inside there. Okay, for other YouTube link that I shared to you, then I think you just can Google all the information there according what, for example, you want to download regarding right opinion. Okay, just type out and search what is right opinion and so on. So it shouldn't be a trouble right now because you already you are actually mature student, you are not high school student, you are university student, and most of you, I think, dah biasa dah with YouTube and so on, gaming ni, tengok orang main online, So, I'm going to share my screen. Right? Can you see the screen? Boleh nampak screen tak? Boleh,
Boleh.
Alright, so this is just a simple briefing, and later on you're going to go to the mock exam as mentioned. What was the date at 25 to 26 with mock exam? 25 to 26 is the mock exam. Okay, so right. So if you see here, okay, this one is the instruction here, because I'm not sure. I think for second year student, you already been through this process last semester. Anyone who didn't go through, who is actually the first time trying out the exam portal online. Maybe you're a direct entry student, so you just enter this semester, okay? So you're not familiar yet with the system. So this is where the briefing is really most important, because the online portal is similar to ULearn, but the layout is a bit different. So what students should remember is that always remember your you remember that you have the ULearn. When you enter ULearn, you need to join using your student email. So remember your student email and its password. Because sometimes at this time, like at the moment of your taking the exam, you forget your password and so on. So don't forget your password. And if you forget your password, you know how to actually reset your password. Normally, reset password is using, I think, the email that you second email in the setting lah. Okay, but anyway, just remember, make sure that you know your password. Okay, because you're going to enter using student email. Okay. Student can only sit for exam using this platform. Therefore, student must find a suitable location for internet access during online final exam. So this one is really important, Okay, and then here is students are not allowed to submit your answer script through Telegram, WhatsApp, email, or ULearn. Okay, so meaning that the final answer script is only received through the exam portal. Means that submission in the exam portal. If you say, okay, for some student, even for the assignment, recently the assignment, there are students who actually emailed to me and mentioned that I cannot upload the assignment because my internet is slow. Yeah, the assignment was given like 1 month ago. Okay, you are given 1 month to go, ample time to do that. So please do not do last minute, especially when you know that your internet line that time at home is really bad. Okay, so the important thing here is that, okay, just make sure that you're prepared for the worst. We talk about worst case scenario lah. At your home, normally the internet is good, but just in case the internet is going to be is weak or is not strong, cannot be accessible, then make sure that maybe in your family, with your family, you have few are using different many different data lah. For example, Cellcom, Maxis, okay, or Wi-Fi and so on. So if you cannot, if one of it is out, cannot be accessed, then ask them to help to share the hotspot. Okay, hotspot, just for you to upload your your answer, okay, hotspot, remember that. Okay, and for the 3 hours that you are online, please make sure that you do not close the exam portal. If not, it's going to refresh, then later on your answer or question will be shuffled. Okay, and meaning that you need to answer again. And so shuffle means that no submitted answer, so you need to shuffle, and that will be very bad. So please do not close the exam portal where you were online. And what else? Okay, and for the final exam is that we have three parts. Three parts. Okay, part A will be objective question, MCQ, multiple choice question. Okay, and part B will be multiple choice question also. For part A is referring to LO1, learning outcome 1, and part 2 will be learning outcome 2. So if you see learning outcome 1 is on C, learning outcome 1 will be on explaining the concept of mechatronics system. And for learning outcome 2 is explaining the working principle of mechatronics system. So that will be the coverage, and the topic that will be covered for MCQ question part A and part B is from starting from the for midterm is you have you covered chapter 1 until chapter 4, right? Chapter 1 introduction until chapter 4, which is data presentation. So for the final exam is going to cover chapter 6 until chapter 8. Okay, so chapter 6 until chapter 8. So so make sure that you really go through the notes on chapter 6 to chapter 8, because that will be covered in the MCQ question. Okay? And part C, which is where we have 3 parts just now. Part C will be subjective question. So in part C is compulsory also to answer all questions, and it's divided into 2 questions, question 1 and question 2. Right? So that will be covering all chapters, chapter 1 until chapter 8. Okay. So this one is the mock exam that I have shared to you in the Telegram. So what is actually mock exam? Mock exam is actually a practice. It's an exam taken as a practice before official examination, so that you are familiar with the layout. Because if you're not familiar with the layout, then might be you panic. So make sure that at least you try it once. If you want, you can try it many times. No problem. Just a mock exam, and they have a simple question just to answer it. Why do I need to care about the mock exam? So you may ask, oh, this is not the portal exam. So again, okay, it will be beneficial. It can help students to familiarize themselves in the UTEM online exam system. So ULET is different, as I mentioned. ULET is different. The layout. So portal exam layout is different. So when does the mock exam be held? So it will be held 25 or 26. I'm not sure. They say here 25 or 26, but anyway, 25, just log into the portal exam and test it out. If it's not 25, then 26. So make sure that you test it out. Okay. Where can I take the mock exam? So the link will be available here. So try it out. Exam portal, I'm not sure if it's active or not. So the link will be examportal.utem.edu.my/mock. Okay. So for FKE, student FKE will be at hall number 01. So how does the exam run? Student need to log in and log in using your email, UTM email, and answer simple question depending on the format set by lecturer. Okay. Do I need to sit more than one mock? Okay, student have to sit at least one mock test. Of course, you can test more lah if you want, right? So this is how the exam portal look like. Okay? So later on, when you enter the real exam portal, you're going to use this. Okay, for this one is mock, /mock. But for the real exam portal is that you're using this link, examportal.utem.edu.my, and we have 11 hall. Last time we only have 5 parallel hall. So now they have actually increased the hall to 11 hall. So for the case of subject, my subject, your subject, which is this BEKM2342, you are going to actually go enter in UTM hall 1, okay, UTM 01. Okay? And when you enter that, when you enter that, you will have an instruction to candidate. So this is where I mentioned just now. All candidates must make sure to have a stable and uninterruptible internet connection for your examination. All candidates are required to make sure that your data internet plan is enough for sitting for exam. So make sure that you can top up immediately if you want. Okay, or if not, just make sure that you have additional data that you can actually top up immediately. All other software or other electronic device are prohibited during exam unless it should number 3, but anyway, because it's open book, you are prohibited from accessing any resources during examination unless you see for open book. So well, because it's open book, then you can access it. You are prohibited from seeking any form of assistance during exam. Yes, this is true. Should be during exam portal. Make sure the online exam, do not discuss with your friend. Because reason why? Okay, we have actually lots of sets, more than 10 sets of questions. Okay, for the for all parts. So meaning that each student will not get the same question set. And if you were to submit the wrong answer, then it will directly be 0 marks. Okay, so remember that don't actually talk with your friend, just focus on your question given. Because of open book, the lecturer need to actually prepare a few sets so that to avoid this to happen. So cheating is a serious offense. So if you're caught cheating, if your answer is similar with your friend answer, then both will get 0 marks. Unfortunately, both will get 0 marks. Okay, not only the one who are copying the other friend, but both, because we don't know who actually copied from who. And if you were the student who give your friend to copy, then why you actually work hard for it and you just give your friend to copy. So don't do that, because there will not be any justification. You can actually justify yourself. My friend want to copy. You are the one to actually give to your friend. So do not give your friend to copy your answer. Okay? You must provide a signature on each seat. So this is what it means that, for example, at home you have pages, kan? My suggestion, how you should do for your final exam so that you'll not be panicking during your exam, is that you take a few pieces of paper, the A4 paper, loose paper, and staple it. Staple it together. And on top of the paper, put the page number. So page number 1, 01, 02, 03, and so on. Okay, means that it's already according to the sequence. So later on, when you want to snap the photo, it's very easy. If you have loose paper, then sometimes you don't know which one is the sequence, correct sequence. So that one will take you 1 minute to actually sort it out. So to be more organized, take few A4 paper, for example 5 A4 paper, and then staple it. and then put the page number on top. Okay, and for the number 7, put a signature. So at that page number, sign on each paper. So you can do this before exam. Prepare for all your subjects. If you're taking 5 subjects, prepare all info paper, staple it, and put page number and sign on the top. Okay. Later, when you enter the exam, it will be very easy. Okay. And don't mistakenly upload wrong answer script. Means that you submit another paper pula answer script. So make sure that you upload the correct one. Okay, number 9, candidate are responsible to immediately report any problem occurred during the exam. For example, if at home, loss of connection, okay, electric, okay, if that happened, then okay, if you're using handphone, should be no problem. You can still upload your answer script. But if you're using laptop, make sure that your laptop battery is full. Okay. Okay, before begin to answer the exam script, you are required to read and set the honesty pledge. The maximum paper, okay, this one is not, I think it's enough. If you have any problem with the exam, okay, you have any problem, okay, this one is important, number 12. If you have every problem during exam, click refresh button on the browser, or if there is no refresh button, please close the current window, open the exam page again, and click continue last attempt. Okay, meaning that if you were to have, you find out that, oh, okay, it's stuck, okay, the screen stuck, and then there's no refresh button there. Okay, refresh button too, do you know where's the refresh button? Okay, because some student maybe refresh button. The refresh button, okay, is here, this one. Nampak tak ada bulat ni kan, arrow ni, this one. You see this? Can you see the refresh button? Look at my mouse, it's circling it. Okay, this is the refresh button. So click on that. That is refresh button. Okay, but if still cannot refresh it, so just close the exam page and open it. And when you open it, this is important. Click on continue the last attempt. Means that it will still take the same question. Okay, means that same. It will be the same question. The format will be the same. The MCQ question will be the same. Okay, it means that if you have the answer the MCQ question, then your answer should be there. So my and for the type B question also will be the same question. So the final one is that click on the submit all and finish button at the bottom of the summary attempt page to have your answer graded. Okay, so after you reading this one is in the exam portal. After reading that, then you can enter login using email tab. Right, and login. After you log in, then you will see that you have this page. Okay, when is your final exam? Your final exam, bila? Betul tak final exam you 1 February 2021? I think most of you students can actually look at, go to SMP and download your exam slip. In the SMP, there's a exam slip there. So in that exam slip is that all of your subject with the date and time. Okay, make sure that you have that with you every time. So that you won't miss the exam. So your exam will be on 1 February 2021, and it will be 3 hours from 2:15 to 5:15 p.m. Okay, and some students have asked, oh, the code is the credit hour is 2 credit. Supposedly, if with 2 credit hours, the exam should be 2 hours. But for the case of this subject, we give you 3 hours, so make extra time to answer and also to scan your paper. Okay, so make sure that I think you have ample time to answer the question. So honesty pledge, you just read it. This slide I will upload in ULearn. So and honesty pledge, just read it. Okay, and for all student information, attempt allowed is only 1 time. Okay, it means that once you click on the submit and finish, means that you cannot reattempt anymore. Okay, so one time only. Okay, so this one will be an example. This one is an example. It's not the real question. This one I'm taking from last semester question. I'm teaching senior system last time. So example is that you will see, if you see here on the left side, you boleh nampak tak? On the left side over here, you have the exam navigation. So exam navigation is really important, and you can see that they have I here. I, I, I. I is information. Information. It means that if you look at this part right now, okay, the I part is highlighted there, blue, dark blue. So meaning that information about the question that you need to answer. So for example, you have an instruction like this lah. There are 4 questions for BEKM2342, answer all questions. Okay, and all the instruction will be here. So when you click next page, okay, to go to the next page, you're going to click next. And when you click next is that you're going to go to the next navigation, another information there. Okay, so and if you see here, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. That for this, it means that you have 4 questions. Okay, 4 questions. This is normal subjective question, and 4 questions compulsory to answer all questions. Okay, so if you see here, you can actually, when because this one is PowerPoint, I couldn't click it, but if you click on I here, you can actually go to the navigation or question 1, you can go directly. So you do not need to use the next page button. So, and remember that the clock will be on the left side here, so you can actually look at what is the time, okay, current time. Okay, so this one is example. If you go to the next page, you click on the next page here. So we'll go to next page here. So so bahagian A. Okay, question 1. Okay, and if you click next again, you will go to the first question. So first question is that please download question 1. Okay, you are required to sign on each of the page and so on. Okay, so you download the question, then you answer on A4 paper. Okay, this one I would like to remind all students. For the final exam, the question cannot be typed. You must submit handwritten. So make sure that it must be handwritten and scanned. So all answer must be handwritten. Scan your answer using Fast Scanner or any other apps that you use to convert to PDF. So upload in PDF format. Okay, I would suggest that when you upload the file, if you have question 1, then name the file as question 1 and your name. Okay, and you have question 2, then name it as question 2 and your name. Okay, and then you can go to the next page to answer the second question. Okay, so and until you get to the end of the last information. Okay, last information is that before submitting your answer, please check your answer and other important things. Signature on each page. Okay, so if you have checked that, if you are not sure, then you can click on previous page to actually go back. Okay, if you have finished, then you click on finish attempt. Okay, and in finish attempt is that you can actually see that, okay, you have 4 questions right here. Okay, here you can see that, oh, okay, question 4, question 1 to 3 not answered, meaning that you didn't upload any file. That is what it means. So only question 4 was uploaded, so you need to return to attempt. Okay, if you have checked everything is already answered, then click submit all and finish. Okay, so if when you click submit all and finish, it will prompt you another confirmation. Once you submit, you will no longer be able to change your answer for this attempt. Right? So after submit, that will be all. Okay, so you will finish the exam once you click on finish and submit. Okay, so this is just how to upload file. You can just go through there, and I think that will be all for the exam portal. Any question from student? Any question? Direct entry student, any question tak? If no, then I will go to the next. Okay, about your assignment. Okay, I think for week 3, I already comment on that. I'm going to comment on week 9 and week 13 only. Week 9. Week 9 will be on the mechanical actuator. Okay, for this week 9, okay, ada seorang tak submit Mama Aiman Omar. I'm not sure why you didn't submit. Anyway, going to open this one. Okay, so if you see, the question was on mechanical actuator. Okay, you were given the task. Okay, this one. Okay, the task was on the application mechanism. So after going through the topic is that I asked you to list and explain the type of mechanism and actuator used in the given system. So we have from B1 until B7, and also the last one is on the exercises. This exercise. So I download one student here exercise. Let's look at it's okay Lao I'm taking Lao here. Lao Hin Q here. Okay, so this one is example of let's see how he answered. So this one is for the case study 1. For the case study 1. So we have this type of mechanical system. So you need to explain and list and explain. So for example, if you were to do this in final exam, should be okay lah. Okay, you write in handwritten, and then if you think but I think for your final exam, you don't have any figure. You are the one who's going to sketch out the system. So you're going to explain each of the mechanism used here. So for the case of this, okay, linkages, kinematic change. So very good. Okay, this is how you should answer. Okay, linkages. So what type of linkages? So kinematic change. So and where is it? So link 7, 3, and 5. So link 7, 3, and 5. So all of these are linked. So what is it a link? It just because you have join here. Join at each of these. Okay. So second one is gear. To machine tip, gear is used to have rotary motion. So we have also gear. So where is the gear? This is here. Okay, and this is very good actually. How Lau answer is that other than he lists out all of it, is that he number it. So for example, linkages 1, 1, okay, and gearing in number 2. And then we have also the actuator, pneumatic actuator. So other than the mechanism, he also label the actuator. So pneumatic actuator. For the case of this, he right here is the pneumatic actuator, double action cylinder. Okay. So why is it pneumatic actuator? And it is not the hydraulic? Because you see here that there's steam here, input and output. So steam is gas. So when you have gas, then it's actually the pneumatic actuator. So this is a very good way on how to answer it. Okay. And B also same thing. So he listed out what type of mechanism in this figure. So we have the linkages. So only one at this point. Okay. Then you have the actuator, linear and pneumatic. Okay, over here. Actually, there are one more there are one more linkages that is missing over here. It's not linkages. You have the not back drive. You have the back drive system, back drive. But then I think there's another one missing over here. Anyone can help? Hello? Anyone can help? What's the another link, mechanism missing there? Okay, you have another mechanism here. You can see that you have the pneumatic over here. Okay, you have pneumatic, and this pneumatic is actually linked using a wire to this joint. Okay, so this wire is actually pulling the link here. So this is where you have the back drive type system. Amirul, are you talking? If you can, because I can hear your handphone. Okay. Right. So then this one is another example of robotic system. So you have the lots of it. You have linkages. So he now list out the linkages you have over here. Then you have the bearings. Okay. Then you have the pneumatic actuator. So I would say if I were to give marks to Lau, he will get out of 10, maybe 10, 10 out of 10. Because first one is that he labeled each of the mechanism. In the figure here, he labeled it out. That is one thing. And then for each of the mechanism, he explained it. Okay? So in detail. So that is the reason he can get a full mark, 10 over 10. Yeah? Okay, just saya buka lagi satu just to compare. Okay, for Dalini, okay, of course, if you were to submit this one, should be no problem also. But if I were to compare with how Lau submit his answer, maybe you wouldn't get full mark lah. So because the label, where do you have actually the gearing? Where do you have the cam? Okay, cam in CS1, where is it? So I think you have the cam and follower, the pneumatic you will have there, okay, and linkages. So make sure that if I were you, I will label, just take out the drawing or so on, and then put it in the page, and then you submit it. Okay, and I think you can be creative now. Okay, for example, the question is in PDF, can you can cut and paste in Word, and then you can actually combine it with your answer and return. Okay, so anyway, it's okay. This one is also no problem when you want to submit. Okay, look at the one who submit last. So aku tadi tak tahulah siapa punya tadi kan. But anyway, if for this student, okay, he didn't explain, he just list it out, list what are the mechanism in the system. The question was, list and explain the type of mechanism used in the given system. So for here is that, for the student, he just list it out. He didn't explain. So if you submit this, maybe out of 10 for each question, okay, maybe about half saja, okay, 5 over 10, because there is no explanation, or less than that, because explanation is much more marks given, so maybe 2 or 3 over 10. So remember that when you write down your answer, don't just answer it because, oh, okay, this is the answer. You need to elaborate it. That's why when I give you feedback, normally I ask you, okay, please elaborate and so on. So the elaboration is really important for you to practice, because if you don't practice now, then later on in the final exam, you won't actually not get used to actually explain it. So remember that. So okay, that will be some comment on the week 9 assignment. Week 14. Week 14, Okay, so the question for the task is that you're given a task like this, so you need to list out the function and its description. So here is that, okay, you list out the function and then the flow. Okay, looks good to me. Okay, and the task, okay, you come up with the task here, means that the block diagram, because the question was, what's the question? And by the way, if possible, for each of the question, please write the question inside your answer script, so that I know what is the question. So I think the question for this was to draw the block diagram based on the part A question. So my comment on this block is that, okay, how he draw the block is okay, but for me it's not completely 100% correct. Okay, I will go and comment one by one. So for the way he draw out the block diagram, we have the square here, okay, which is push button to start, and then square. Okay, this one is also okay, because what I see is that there are some students who actually draw something like this. I'm not sure who. I never teach students to draw a block like that. So let me just draw it. Okay, the way, for example, you are having the actuator, for example, and then he draw like this. Okay, and then he has sensor. Controller. Okay, so the block diagram that students submit is like this. This is not block diagram. Block. This is just some sentence with an arrow going in and out of the set text. To draw a block diagram, you need to complete it. Make sure that the block diagram is a block lah. Okay, a square block. Okay, square block. Square. Okay, if you answer the first version just now, you wouldn't get full mark. Okay, that is not how, not the correct way to draw a block diagram. And each of the point here, this block must be connected. This must be connected with the arrow here. Okay. Why I say that? Because I saw lots of students who actually draw something like this. For example, you have the system and then you have the arrow. This is wrong way how to do it. Okay, the correct way is that you have the block diagram, connect it. Okay, like this. Okay, you won't find in a book, a control book, drawing like this connection, where there's a gap there. Okay, so draw it correctly. Okay, so at this point for me, okay, the arrow is not connected, so maybe tolak marpas sikit lah. Okay, it should be connected. Other than that, I think should be okay. And then you draw out the flow legend, kan? So that's good. Okay, it means that you differentiate between the energy, material, and flow. So this is one way. And if you were to use this type of energy, so make sure that for this one is a very good way. Other than using different color, okay, you also use different type of style for the arrow. For example, for the edge is solid line. Okay, let me just explain that. So for the energy, Hamizan draw it as a straight line. Okay, so energy. Okay, material. For the case of you don't have any color, coloring or color, different type of pen at home, can you only have black pen? So when you want to answer it in final exam, so draw like this. Next, you can use the dash line arrow. Okay, material, and then you have a signal. The signal, maybe you want to use a dash dotted line. Dash dotted line. Okay, so this one is how you can differentiate if you only have black and white. Means that you have only black pen lah. Okay, black and white. So you can use this style also to label your block diagram. Okay, so let's go and look at the next one. Task 3 is that from what he has actually listed out in the block diagram and also in the function is that student need to suggest three different options. Three options of the sensor lah. Okay, for example, starting the AUV. So, for example, push button, okay, cranking the propeller manually, okay, option 3, short circuit, short circuit, okay, this one macam nak curi AUV. But anyway, try to suggest something else, push button ke, and then normal button, number switch ke, this is some other option lah, okay. So, and then justification why you choose it. So, I think from here, it looks okay to me. Okay, so Hamizan listed quite a lot of function, even though in the question you are asked to list 5 function, but he lists more than that. So this one is actually, I see effort from students. So effort is really, I'm going to take into account effort also from student. So 7 should be okay. Okay, and then lastly, he draw out the system. So AVB sketch. So from here, he draw 2 types of view. Okay, outside view and cross-sectional view. Okay, so okay, my comment on this okay, AUV sketch ni, okay, cut section view ni, okay, sensor node, okay, make sure that whatever sensors or actuator that you are drawing in the sketch here should be related with what you mentioned in the option that you choose here. Okay, means that you are using video camera. So I will see the video camera. So I'm looking at your sketch here. Okay, you have the video camera over here, AUV video camera. Okay, so that's good. So I'm going to look at each of the function that he choose. For example, photoelectric sensor. Okay, so and proximity sensor over there. So where is the photoelectric sensor? So the photoelectric sensor is over here. Then proximity sensor lah. Okay, double blast tank. So double blast tank, blast pump. Mana double blast ni? Hamizan ada double blast tank ni.
It's one at the front and one at the back, madam.
One at the front, one at the back.
Yes, madam.
Is that this one
Beside the ballast pump, you can see a ballast tank, and in front, beside the camera, there's another.
My suggestion, if you see double kan, means that you name it ballast tank 1, ballast tank 2. Okay, so you can see that it's double tank. So you need to differentiate if you have 2 tanks in your system. Okay, alright. So far so good. Okay, task number 2 is to explain your sketching and your function, everything. So what you need to do is that based on the block diagram, you need to explain from the start, from the starting point where you start to press on the push button tadi. So push button and blah blah blah. So explanation on it. Okay. So overall, I think for this one, the marks is quite high lah. Okay. So anyone who want me to check the assignment? Okay, I choose another one because we don't have time anymore. Already 10. Anyone want their assignment so that I can comment on it? Anyone? Tak ada. Guys, tak ada yang tak ada. Kalau tak ada, then I'm not going to comment on anymore. Alright. So I think that will be all for okay, before we finish our class, because this one is the final class, can we get like take a photo or like a class photo, because in the end I do not actually get to know you face to face. You are second year already, but finish the class actually online 100%. So can I get the student to switch on their camera? Switch on your camera so that we can take a photo. For the girls, the Muslim boleh ambil tudung kejap lah. I give you about 30 seconds to grab tudung. Okay, the rest you can on your camera. Can you on the camera, guys? To take a photo of the class. Guys, baru nampak muka. Khairul Fahmi. Lang, baru nampak muka. Dah habis, already finished the semester, then only I know your face. Anyway, I have gone through the Padlet last time, the one that you fill in week 1. So I go through the Padlet and see most of your faces lah. But I cannot remember, still cannot remember. So the rest, ada 4 orang saja on camera ni. Wong, Afiq Muhammad Afiq Lau, Khairul Fahmi. The rest, guys, ada ke tak ni semua? Is on camera? Ataupun bercakap sikit ke? Guys? Okay, so far, sementara while we wait for the other student, okay, there is the last task that I want you to do. Go to YouLearn and answer the feedback form. Okay, basically in the feedback form is that I just want to ask student what do you think about the online class that I teach during this semester, because unfortunately this semester is 100% online. So I know both of the lecturer and the student, I don't think we both love the online classes. Okay, so hopefully this pandemic will actually go down, the numbers will go down, and we can actually get back again and have the normal classes face to face. But right now you already know that we have the option of online, and maybe that will be a great way on how student can actually be independent. Okay, so yang lain tak ada dah. Dalini ada, Dalini pun baru first time nampak muka. Dalini, Lutfil. Yang Muhammad depan ni saya tak nampak, tak baca nama je lah. Muhammad apa ni? Muhammad Afiq. Gogol. Oh, nice garden, Gogol. Wong Hao Yan. Okay, yang lain mana? Okay lah, tak apalah, yang ni je. Okay, just smile. Okay, Madiha baru masuk. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, ada lagi. Okay, kita tunggulah lagi. Beberapa minit lagi. Boleh? Okay, tak apalah, kita ambil dulu. Okay, smile. Oh, lebar senyum. Okay, so I think that will be all from me. And for this semester, sorry if I've been a bit strict. I mean, it's not strict lah. I normally I'll be my class. I would like students to actually come on time so that they know that the time for both lecturer and student are really important. Okay, especially for you guys. So make sure that for final exam, do go through the module, okay? And I think starting from today, download all the notes from YouLearn, all subjects, because after 27, you cannot actually access YouLearn, okay? So anyway, good luck to all students. Okay, I hope that you get A lah. Okay, get an A. So to get an A, it must be with effort. Okay, with effort means the effort need to study lah. Tak study tak dapat A lah. Okay, so put effort in your this subject especially. I have high hopes, and make sure that you do the best lah. Alright. Okay, that's it all. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Bye bye.
Okay, thank you, Doktor.
Okay, sama-sama.
Thank you, Doctor.
Okay.